Does social media help book sales? Do authors need to be on social media? And how should authors even use social media? If you've ever asked yourself these questions, I'm so glad you're here because today we are going to talk about how authors should use social media and how you can get the most out of your accounts. So my name is Jen Hanson-dePaula, and I'm the co-founder of Mixus Media, and I'm really good at helping authors find their readers online to simplify book marketing and social media and to get bigger results out of your efforts. So if you find this helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and be sure to also click the link below to download my free Streamlined book marketing guide. It's going to help you to get things started with your book marketing. So let's get started. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, social media is not a great place to sell. Marketing and sales are two completely different things. Marketing is all about building awareness and making that connection, and sales are all about asking people to buy. And sales come much later in the process. When it comes to marketing, we always have to be thinking about our readers and how we're connecting with them. And if we get a new follower on social media and we immediately just blanket everyone with a promotion and urging people to buy our book, that's going to be a big turnoff to the people that just started following you and to the people who aren't warmed up enough to you and your messaging. So what we want to do is to use social media as a connection tool and as an awareness tool. This doesn't mean that we can't talk about our book or we can't let people know that it's available. It's more about focusing on the connection and not going in and pushing people to sell, not being in constant promotional mode. I always like to tell authors that social media is like an online cocktail party. And if you've ever been to a cocktail party, you know that it's very laid back. It's mixing and mingling and getting to know new people, maybe running into some old acquaintances, and you ask how they're doing. You might talk about other interests that you might have, but the cocktail party always really brings around the same kind of people that they know will mix and mingle well with one another. There are many times certain groups of people that come together for certain cocktail parties. And so within your social media, you want to approach it like this because social media wasn't created to sell. It was created to connect. And so when you kind of have this get to know you vibe within your social media, you really get to know one another. And like on a cocktail party, if you want to spend more time with someone or if you want to get to know them more, you hand them your business card. And on social media, really directing them to the link in your profile is how they can, it's kind of like giving them a virtual business card. It's where they can learn more about you and where they can see what you have to offer and take the next step within the relationship. So I have a question for you. Does social media intimidate you? Are you kind of turned off by social media? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat. So as an author, how can you take this cocktail party metaphor and apply it to your social media strategy? So I want you to imagine that you were going to a cocktail party that was full of readers. They were full of your ideal readers. What would you talk about with them? Well, you could talk about books. You could talk about your to-be-read pile. You could talk about your favorite places to buy books. It could be about other hobbies and interests that you have besides reading. It could be mentioning that you are a writer and that you are in the process of writing your book, and they might have questions for you about that. It's really about thinking about what you would talk about with people who are in the same room as you are in real life and applying it to your social media strategy, because that is what it's all about. It's about connecting and creating conversations. So what you can do is write down like 3 or 4 ideas of topics that you would discuss at a cocktail party and circle 3 or 4 of them. And these are what I call content buckets. I talked more about it in this video on how you can create tons of content with content buckets. And this is a great way to come up with those topics. Thinking about going to a cocktail party. So using those topics as what you're going to talk about within your social media strategy is really going to help you create those conversations and stay focused within a few topics so you can become known for something. So you can become known as an author who loves to read and who has great conversations about books and who talks about other things rather than being in constant promotional mode. And then once you've begun these conversations and you've really deepened these relationships on social media, you're going to be constantly driving them to your website. You're always going to be having a call to action to drive them to the link in your profile to check out your website, maybe read your blog or watch videos or listen to podcast interviews that you've done. But most importantly, you're going to be driving them to your newsletter by having a newsletter incentive to really lure them in and to draw their attention so that they want to sign up for your newsletter. Your newsletter is really where you sell. This is the place where you have warmed up your audience. And when people sign up for your newsletter, they're saying, yes, you have my attention. I am interested. I am interested in buying your book. So this is where the sale takes place. It's a lot easier and much more effective to sell to an attentive audience than it is to try to sell to a cold audience. So that's why I am such a huge proponent for having a solid newsletter list. And social media is one of the best ways that you can actually grow that list. So when you see social media as being that connection tool, that online cocktail party, it makes it a lot less intimidating. And you're really just connecting with people that are interested in the same things that you're interested in. And once they sign up for your newsletter, they're saying that they're interested. So that's where you sell. So does this approach kind of ease your mind and kind of take a weight off of your shoulders about social media? Does it feel a little less intimidating? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. And if you want to go even further with your social media and online marketing, be sure to download my free Streamlined book marketing guide. It's going to help outline everything that you need to do to set yourself up for success and to remove all of the unneeded marketing stuff that you really don't need to focus on. So click the link below and sign up. And if you're interested in coaching or courses, be sure to go to mixtusmedia.com for more information. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I have new videos coming out every Friday. So I'll see you next time.